So, Casey, welcome to another edition of
Fireside Chats.
Fireside Chats.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well, let's see where it goes, but I'd like to start with... I hate to say flat Earth, but it's going somewhere.
Yeah, sure. Let's go there.
Let's go there. So, a lot of people believe in flat Earth. Significantly more people believe in round Earth. Yes?
It's a theory that's been pushed for a long time.
So for centuries, we've been sold on the idea of round Earth. More recently, people have been exposed because of the internet to the idea of flat Earth. And the fact of the matter is that they're both theories because none of us have been out there. We're just going off based off.
There's claims of people that have been up there.
Sure, that's true.
Like I have a family member. He seems to think he's been to space.
I mean, there are people who've been abducted by aliens. I mean, these
Were they really aliens?
beliefs are really strong. I don't know how things work.
Yeah, there's been stories of this. Maybe like spirits or things like that took them. Who knows?
I like to observe the extremes. So in this case, the extremes are flat Earth versus round Earth. And I hear both sides of the story. I get it. I understand the conspiracies, the reasonings behind it. Why would anybody want to pretend the Earth is round? I don't know. It sounds like maybe Nazis were taking over NASA at the time, and they were like, we need some funding, and then they got into taxes and whatnot just so that they can create value. They're creating value. I do appreciate that about the Nazis. In any case, the round earthers, they're, it's just opposite beliefs. And I believe it's all true. It's all true and also irrelevant, which is why I don't want to talk about this. But I've reached recent conclusions lately that I want to share just to get this off my chest, which is the flat earthers don't believe it's flat like a piece of paper. It's still round, right? Meaning like a plate, not like a ball. But plates,
Circular.
Circular. Plates have bottoms, right? So it seems like the flat earthers don't talk about the bottom of the plate. What's going on down there? So I feel, and I understand this could be a stretch, but I feel that the darkness of this earth, the darkness that, everything, the stories, the devil, the guilt, the shame, everything that stems from darkness, the things that are in a place where, we can't even talk about these certain topics, right? Because they could hurt someone's feelings, or it shouldn't be said. It's not politically correct to say, right? I feel those things are from the darkness, okay? And then so all these stories we've been hearing our entire lives, like the church, the Catholic Church stories, and all this, every story, there's a purpose behind it,
Sure.
right? The purpose is to keep the citizens in their place, to keep things some sort of order.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Story.
But inevitably,
based in some sort of fact or something that was going on.
something, right? Something. So, I mean, things change over time because obviously old people with old ideas die, and new people with new ideas are born. And because babies are so cute, we don't kill them when they have different ideas. And so evolution happens. We change, we evolve. We create the internet. We're able to communicate better.
But we're trying to do fact-based sort of things, right?
We're trying. I heard yesterday this guy describing a meme, and it was a tomb, and it said humanity, and it said we tried. We tried. That's what it says on our tombstone for humanity. But I don't really believe that. I think we're going to thrive through this. I think humanity is in this for the long haul. I think planet Earth is in this for the long haul. Whether that planet is round or flat, irrelevant.
What's the significance of it being flat as compared to round? Why would it be called round when it was really flat? What's the purpose of it? I mean, if you look into the sort of history behind the flat earth thing, it's like this Jesuit takeover of the institutions that were promoting the flat earth at the time and introducing this whole concept. And then there's these weird mathematical equations and such that kind of have these super amazing coincidences. And I don't know, it's nuts in that sense. But what do they have to gain? What is it? Is it a control sort of narrative? Is it just like, I don't know. Like for me, I want to tie it back into like law, because I love law. I want to talk about natural law, spiritual law, how all these things sort of tie into it. And what would turn people away from looking at these sort of things or even believing that there is such of a natural law out there? Well, maybe the round earth thing would kind of steer people away from looking into natural laws. Because what is it? Here we are, we're in science. We are this sort of planet, speck of dust in the universe of billions of others. Lonely, floating along throughout the galaxy forever. And it's kind of like a narrative that doesn't really give purpose. Whereas if we have like the flat earth theory put forward, which seems to go in alignment with like, wow, this is like an aquarium or a terrarium and we're here to play a game, or we have a purpose and there's like a goal within it. And, rather than this whole like round earth thing, like, well, we have these resources on this planet and unless we can find some on another planet or something like that, it's like, what do we do with our time here? But within the flat earth theory, it's like we were created. There's a consciousness behind this. We need to figure out the game. So it gives purpose. And so creating the round earth theory might be just to devoid people of purpose or rob them of purpose, in a sense.
Why does it eliminate our purpose with the round earth? I'm not sure I'm following.
People would be easier to control.
Because of the space stories and stuff? Why?
Well, yeah, that whole narrative's been created.
Space travel.
Right, you get all these stories about how like most of the movie industry is controlled through like government budgets, or they're like in on the final drafts of the movies and stuff, and it's usually like these space-based sort of things where you need the government in control to keep the situation going or under control and going forward. And so it's like, that's interesting. I mean,
and it works.
We love it. I watch that stuff too. It's a great story. And, but why is that narrative being put forward? And so, I don't know. They're really pushing the round Earth space theory out there within all the movie structure. Personally, I haven't been up there. To me, it seems irrelevant. Like you started it off, like how does this really affect us? Unless it's like a whole big thing about robbing people of purpose or looking within spiritual aspects of it. Because like, no, it's just all matter and goes on forever and there's no real meaning to it.
Well, it definitely seems like it's robbing us of energy, in the sense of like, it's in any direction, it's taking time to process these thoughts and think about it. And ultimately, is it useful to think about? Should we be thinking about other things? I think it's fun to think about. I think it's fun to talk about. At the same time, I don't want that to be my obsession or anything. I would prefer other obsessions.
Practical.
Right, practical obsessions, right? Because I want to be able to really strive for greatness, and that includes being obsessed, I feel, about the thing that you want to be great at.
Mm-hmm. And you're not really shooting for astronaut at the moment?
Sure, I'm not shooting for astronaut.
You have a NASA shirt on at the moment?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. So essentially it's like I'm promoting Nazis or something. Allegedly. I'm not really too sure. I haven't looked into it.